Hi guys and gals, we're taking a look at lesson 4 in module 2, interpreting and computing division of a fraction by a fraction, and we're going to be drawing some more models. So we're looking at page 39 in your math book. I'm going to enlarge this a little bit, maybe. I wanted to, just so it's a little bit bigger. Okay, write at least 3 equivalent fractions for each fraction below. So we've got 2/3. So for me to write an equivalent fraction, I'm going to multiply top and bottom, in this case, by 2. And I'm going to get 4/6. What if I multiplied top and bottom by 3? 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. What about 4? 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12, and so on. And I just have to do 3 equivalent. Could I jump up and say 6? 6 times 2 is 12, and 3 times 6 is 18? Yes, I could. So there are different answers, but those are the ones I've written down so far. B, we're looking at, again, write 3 equivalent fractions. 10 times 2 and 12 times 2. 10 times 3, 12 times 3. 10 times 4, 12 times 4, and so on. So all those are equivalent. Then at the bottom, we're looking at example 1. It says, Molly has 1 3/8 cups of strawberries. She needs 3/8 cups of strawberries to make each batch of muffins. Each batch is, we got 1 batch. How many batches can she make with those 1 3/8 cups of strawberries? Use a model to support your work. And so when I'm looking at this 1 3/8, 1 3/8 is also equivalent to 8 times 1 is 8 plus 3, 11/8. So I'm turning it into an improper fraction first, just to kind of think, okay, well, how many 3/8 can I take out of that 11, and then maybe I have a remainder. And then I'm going to draw something right down here to hopefully help me figure this out a little bit. So I know I've got, if I have 8, so So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8/8, if I was looking at that, 8/8 is equal to 1. But I also have, I'm going to draw over here. So here's 1, or I can also write 8/8, and they're telling me that I have 1 and, so 8/8 is 1, okay? And I also have 3/8, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 1 3/8, that's what this whole thing is equal to, 1 3/8, or I could say 11/8. Well, then they're telling me, I'm going to go in with a different color, they're telling me that I am using 1, 2, 3/8 per batch, right? There's 1 batch, 2 batches, 3 batches, but I don't quite have enough left over here. So I'm also going to write down my math. So I had 11/8. I divided by chunks of 3/8, which is 11/8 times, remember how we flip? We multiply by the reciprocal. So that equals 11/3. So 11/3 is equal to, how many 3's are in 11? 9. So 3 times 3 is 9. 10, 11 is 2/3. So we have one group of 1, 2, 3/3, 2 groups of 3/3. There's the third group, and then we have the 1, 2 of the 3 left over. So this is our final answer, and this model supports it. So, and then I should probably write in a complete sentence, and we would say Molly because what did it say? How many batches? Molly can make 3 batches, 3 2/3 batches actually of muffins. So a partial batch. Okay, let's go to the page and see what we have. Example 2, I'm going to enlarge this a little bit too. It says, Molly's friend Xavier also has 11/8 cups of strawberries. He needs 3/4 of a cup of strawberries to make a batch of tarts. So he's cooking something a little different. How many batches can he make? Draw and support your solution. So we've got 11/8. The thing that I'm noticing is we've got a different denominator. So I'm almost thinking that I need to, I would like to rewrite possibly as 3 times 2 is 6 and 4 times 2 is 8. That's also an equivalent ratio or fraction of 3/4, 6/8. Okay, so if I'm going to draw out, I'm going to draw a model right here. And they told me that he has 11/8. So I'm going to again do the, there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's 1, right? So 8/8 is equal to 1. And then there's my other. So here's 8/8. But he said he has 11/8, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shade in that. Here's quickly. There's 8/8, 8, 9, 10, 11/8. Okay. And then it says we are grouping, remember the 3/4? Well, we're going to group by 6/8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm short. See, I need that 1/8 more to make another batch. So how many batches can he make? So now I'm going to write it out mathematically. I'm going to go with my 11/8, and I'm dividing by, I'm going to write the 6/8, which equals 11/8 times 8/6. I'm going to cross cancel, and I have 11/6, which is how many? Not quite 2. It's 1 and 5, 6 left over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5, and then the 6th one I don't have. So Xavier can make, and we'll call it 1 and 5/6 batches. 1 and 5/6 batches of tarts. Okay. Too bad, says that. I'd go to the store and get some extra. Okay, example 3, find the quotient. Find the quotient is another way to say find the answer of 6/8 divided by 2/8 and then use a model. So first let's do it mathematically. So 6/8 divided by 2/8 is the same as 6/8 times, and then I flip the second fraction, the reciprocal of 2/8 is 8/2, and then I get 6 over 2, 6/2, which 2 times 3 is 6, so that's 3. Okay, now they're telling me that I need to draw this out. So if I have 8 tells me how many pieces I'm going to have in one whole. So there's my 8, okay? And it says I have 6/8. Let's see, find the quotient. 6/8 divided by 6/8 divided by 2/8, and I'm going to end up with 2 units, 1 unit. Okay. The units, I'm just taking a look here. So find the quotient here. We have 6/8. If this and this is equal to 6/8, then what is my whole thing? There's, let me do a different color. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. So if 1 unit equals 6/8 divided by 2 is 3/8. I don't know. Let's see. Sometimes if I have 6/8 and I'm dividing it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm trying to see why then do I get that answer of 3? It seems to me that I would get 4, right? Or let me go like this. If I have this, and this is equal to 1 whole, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? There's 6/8. And then it says I'm dividing that by 2/8. Maybe this is what I need to think. I'm going in, there's 2/8, 2/8, 2/8 equals 3 groups. I think that's how I'm wanting to go about this. I know, sometimes I get stuck. So I'm going to cross out this one and go with this one, because I think that model is representing what they asked me to do. Let's go to the next problem. And we have 3/4 divided by 2/3 and use a model. So first I'll do the math part of it. 3/4, and I'm going to times it by the reciprocal, which is 3/2. And this is going to be 9, and then 4 times 2 is 8. This is a little funky. It's almost like I should have found a common denominator, maybe. I don't know. If I did do a common denominator, so this would be 1 and 1/8. Let me find a common denominator and see if that makes any difference. So 3/4 would be equal to, so I'm going to times by 3, multiply by 3, and I get 9/12. That was a 3. Okay, and then that's divided by 3 times 4 is 12, so 2 times 4 is 8. Let's see. So then I have 9/12 times 12 over 8. Look at, I get the same thing. So actually that doesn't really matter. I just proved that. But if I'm going to draw something out, let's say I have a number line here, and I'm going to go with my, we always start at 0, and I'm going to go with 1/12, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So let's say here's my 11/12. This is 1, 12/12. So this is my 0. And here's my 1/12, 2/12, 3/12, 4/12, 5/12, 6/12, 7/12, 8, 9/12. There's too tight to write them all in there. And then they said I had 8/8. 8/8 is 1, right? If I have 8/8, but I've got, what did the first one? The first one was 9/12. So I'm going to go in with another color and go, I first had 9/12, okay? And 9/12 then divided by 8/12. 9/12 divided by 8/12. Well, look at, here's my 8/12, right? Is right there. So does that leave me 1? So this is equal to 1 whole, and this is equal to 1/8. So that's our final answer. I think it's a little tiny bit confusing. Okay, exercise 1 through 5. Okay, here we have, it just says find the quotient. So it doesn't look like I need to draw a model, but you sure could. So 6/2, and I'm going to times by the reciprocal, which is 4/3. and that gives me 24 over, I multiply 2 times 3 is 6, but 6 times 4 is 24. So we could do a model with that if I had, or I could just do a number line too. But anyway, if I had, let's see, 12, so if I'm going to go here, so this would be, here's my 0, okay? Here's my 12/4, which is 3. And I go 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. Say that's 3/4. And then I go 4/4, 5/4, 6/4. Here's 6/4. And then I go 7, 8, 9/4. And it actually is 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, and so on. Okay. And then I've got this last one, 10, 11, and 12/4. I have 4 groups that I've just drawn. Okay, let's remember, you do not have to do a model for each of these. So 2/3 divided by 2/5 is equivalent to 2/3 times 5/2. We flip the second one, and then we've got 10 over 6. Well, how many 6s are in 10? There's 1, and what's left over? See if I do this. There's 1, here's 6, I have 4. So 1 and 4, I take the remainder, and then I put that denominator back. But I can reduce that. 1 and divide by 2, I get 1 2/3. Okay, so that problem, we could leave it as 1 4/6 if it didn't say reduce. So if I had, here's my 0 and 1/15, because I could also rewrite these. I could rewrite these as 10/15 divided by 6/15 if I wanted to have a common denominator. So 1/15, 2/15, 3/15, 4/15, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11/15. And so then I'm all the way, so I'm going to first take a look at my 10/15. Here's 10/15. And I'm dividing it by, it says 6/15. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 1. And then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 left over. That's my answer. Still a little confusing, but that's okay. 7/8 divided by 1/2 is, let's go with, so times 4 times 4. So it's 7/8 divided by 4/8, and that equals 7/8 times 8/4. Cross that out, I get 7 over 4, which equals 1 3/4. So if we drew this out, and I've got my, I'm going to go with my 7/8, so this whole thing would be 8/8, but I'm going to go with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is 7/8. And then it says I'm going to go back in and chunk it in groups of 1/2. So I'm going to go, so half would be, well, 4/8 is half, but I have 1, 2, 3 fourths. So that is my 3/4 left over. Okay, let's do 3/5 divided by 1/4. If I did a common denominator, I don't need to, but if I did, I would have 3 times 4 and 5 times 4. I get 12/20 divided by 5/20. That would be me rewriting those. And then that equals 12/20 times, flip the reciprocal, 20 over 5. Cross cancel, I get 12/5, which equals 2. 2 times 5 is 10 with 2/5, 2 left over, and my denominator stays the same. So if I'm going to do a picture of 12/20, so that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 20, okay? And then it told me in the beginning I had 12/20. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's my 12/20. And then I'm chunking by a quarter, or we said 5/20. So I'm going to go in and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I have 2 out of the 5. See, this is not quite done. So 2 and 2 out of the 5, 2/5 is my final answer. Let's go to this last problem in our practice, 5/4. 5/4. Okay, so divided by 1/3, but let's say I want a common denominator. I think times 3 times 3 times 4 times 4 is going to give me 15/12. Divided by 4/12 is 15/12 times, flip this one, 12/4, cross cancel, I get 15/4. So now, how many 4 times 3 gives me 12, 13, 14, 15. 3 3/4 is my final answer. But now, if I were going to draw this out, I need something that's got 15/12. So on this, I would have my 0, and I would have, so 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So at 12/12, I also have 1, 12. And then 13, 14, 15, 15/12 is where I stop. So that's where I stop, but I'm grouping in groups of 4/12. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's my 3. And then I have 1, 2, 3 out of 4 left. I hope this makes sense by the last time that we're doing it. I do believe it's slightly confusing, but I know you can do this. Okay, so well done. Consider yourself finished with this, except then we have the problem set.